So, despite its many issues that have come to light recently, it's no big secret that I am a massive WoW nerd, and I'm sure a lot of you are too. And when TBC came out, I was incredibly excited. But that doesn't mean that there aren't a few things that you can see in-game that won't make a little tear come to your eye. So, today I thought I would talk about a few, in fact 6, of my least favourite things to see in TBC, possibly the worst things that you can see while playing TBC Classic. So let's dive into it with number 1. So first up, we've got Dragonspine Trophy dropping and you don't win it. So this is really painful. Maybe not for everybody, a lot of you will be playing classes where it's no good, but if you are one of the people for whom Dragonspine Trophy is a good item, chances are it's going to be your best in slot item for the entirety of TBC. So seeing something that would last you so long and provide you so much power actually finally dropping, it's not just a myth, and then it goes to somebody else, it stings. It's not enough to get it higher on the list, but it's certainly enough to make it onto here. So let's move on. So next up we've got Edgemasters, or really any other old classic high value world epic dropping for you that is now worthless. If you'd have got it a year ago, you'd have been absolutely rolling in it, and now it's basically a vendor item, and it's just so sad. A lot of people are discovering this at the minute because they're leveling up alts, because they're maybe changing classes for phase 2, or their raid teams are having to shift into 25 man and they know that they need to play something else, and they're leveling up these characters and they're getting these big shiny purple items drop, only to then go to the auction house and see that that 4k item is now worth 40 gold, and it is heartbreaking. So in 4th, we have a Netherwing Egg being stolen from right before your eyes. It's a horrible feeling. Sometimes these eggs are so rare, they feel like mythological things that don't really exist. They're just fairy tales you've heard about. Then you finally stumble into them while you're doing your dailies, only for someone else to come around the corner while you're running towards it and take it from right under your nose. Not the worst thing in the world in terms of its outcome, but it certainly feels bad at the time, and that's what gets it in at number 4. Narrowly ahead and cracking our top 3 is going to be a very similar one, with our gathering nodes being snatched away from our eyes by someone who has epic flying when you do not. It's not a nice feeling. Maybe you're not level 70 yet, you can't fly, or maybe you've just not got the money to get the epic flying sorted out yet, and someone else does, and they're going to swoop in ahead of you and take that Corium Vein, and you're going to sit there and you're going to cry to yourself. Not the worst thing, again, that can happen, but this one's far more relatable. It happens to pretty much all of us, or at least anyone who doesn't have epic flying, or maybe someone who's on an alt. And it's just not a nice feeling, is it? So that's why we're getting it in at number 3. Now we're moving on into number 2, and this is where we take a big jump up in just how sad these are, and that is going to be seeing that you're one of the people who's getting benched for your raid team now that you're moving out of Karazhan and its 10-man nature into the 25-man raids that are going to be your staples in phase 2. A lot of people can relate to this right now, because obviously we are moving into phase 2 and everyone's trying to get organised. I'm sure you probably already got something worked out for the other raids that have already been put in place, but when you're combining your multiple Karazhan teams in your guild into a singular team, there's 30 people, you cut it down to 25, and you're that first one who doesn't make the cut. It's not going to be all of you, obviously. It's going to be, well, in that example, it's going to be about a 1/6 of you, but makes me glad I play a tank, let's put it that way. It's not a nice feeling. And it's about the worst feeling you can get in TBC, in my opinion, or at least close to it. But at number 1, we have probably the one that can top it. So at number 1, we've got slowly seeing your friends and your guild quit and collapse in the game, and it's a heartbreaking thing to see. You can see up on screen here now, it's happened to me recently, and it's just not a nice feeling at all. Maybe it's for good reasons, maybe everyone that you play the game with has moved on, they've got a nice new job that they're excited for and they don't have the time, or more likely, people have quit WoW because of everything that's going on at the minute and they're moving over to another game and they just don't have the time to do both, or maybe they're just wanting to leave WoW because it's been too long, and slowly over time you'll start to see that your guild dissolves and you log in and your once triple figure Battle.net friend logins are now down to single figure, and You're looking to go and do a raid or a dungeon and there's just nobody around and it feels like a ghost town. There is absolutely nothing worse in MMOs than feeling like you're playing a single player game. Even if you are someone who really enjoys playing by yourself the majority of time, it is nice to know that there are people around who you can count upon to do this group activity with. So it's pretty heartbreaking when you log in to see messages like the guild is no longer going to be raiding, or that I am quitting, can you replace me, and things like this. It really gets to you. So that's going to be my number one for today's video, and I hope that you guys agree. I'm not going to say I hope that you enjoy it because, well, it's a video about the saddest things that can happen, but maybe hopefully you enjoyed the video at least. Maybe you can relate. Maybe I've missed something. Maybe there's something sadder. If so, let me know down in the comments below. But for now, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Later.